Easy brothers, welcome back to another landscape video, another Q&A to grace your screens, alright? We've asked some questions over on my Instagram, which if you're not following me, please do. All my social media is at Text Coaching, and I need the bloody support, okay? We're going to do a little Q&A, a couple of military questions, a couple of civilian questions, okay? And a nice scenic background, as you can see. We're in Dartmoor, alright? The video you probably saw before this was... we're going to title it something like Raw Marine Goes Wild Camping or some sort of clickbait title, okay? Because I need the views. But yeah, if it's the first time seeing my face on your screen, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. YouTube is going to the moon, which is sick. And obviously I can't really do this Q&A on my own. So I've got Sam, my videographer here, who's going to be asking me some of the questions that we prepared because we're efficient. So I guess, let's get into the bloody episode, shall we?
Question 1. Are you truly happy now you're your own boss and doing things your way?
That's a very good question. Very good question. It's one of those where, realistically, I've moved into a completely different avenue, all right? This is not the norm. Like, this lifestyle that I lead isn't normal. Obviously, you've got being self-employed. Obviously, a lot of people that are in other areas, other industries, all right, they will pretty much usually work a 9 to 5, okay? This sort of job, like, doesn't really have an off switch. It's one of them where, like, even if I'm doing like client check-ins and running the online coaching business side of things, like, yeah, obviously people can message me throughout the day. So realistically, I'll still be replying to messages at 8, 9 p.m. at night. And like, yes, some coaches be like, right, don't message me after 5 p.m. But I really don't think that's how it should work. Everyone lives busy lives. They're probably working their own jobs. And then in the evening, they're going to go train. Why would, as a coach, you not support them throughout the whole day? So it's one of them where I think I'm definitely working more hours now that I've left the military. But it's that cringe saying of it doesn't feel like work, because I enjoy what I do. I enjoy the online coaching stuff. I enjoy creating content on social media, which is where I eventually want this to end up. I want the content creation to fully finance all of this stuff that we're doing. Now, I still want to be online coaching no matter what. It's one of them where, like, I've always enjoyed helping lads out on their fitness journey. When I first started, my first 10 clients I brought on, I did it all for fucking free because I just wanted to build up some client testimonials, get lads in the door, whether that be for the Marines or transform their body or whatever. And it's now obviously spiraled into this where I've got 70 plus clients and it's now a full-time business, which is amazing. But obviously bringing Sam on as a videographer, like, the actual like content I feel was proper leveled up, and it's this investment that we need.
Yeah, I do feel like it's definitely changed. I think also it's taking that weight off your shoulders as well. In that aspect.
The weight, because like I think. Hang on, what was the question again? What was the last bit of the question?
Are you truly happy now you own your own business and doing things your way?
Yeah, I think we're diverted a bit already.
But, you do seem like you work your socks off, but it's all we talk about. It's all you enjoy. Yeah. To that aspect, like, so it's not work. Like when we did the Marbella thing, we slept for 4 hours a night, and we woke up at 8 in the morning, and it was like we were both absolutely shattered on the plane back, but we did truly just enjoy it.
So I think the answer is yes. I am so happy because I'm doing what I love for a job, and I think with anyone, if you can do what you love as a job, you are successful in my eyes. Even if you're making £1,000 a month, £10,000 a month, if you can live off a job that makes you happy, then like that should be it. But it's definitely a lot more workload. Definitely, yeah, 100% a lot more workload than when I was in the military. But like I said, it doesn't feel like work when I'm literally living my dream.
Question number 2. What's the worst thrashing you received in training?
So there's one that has always sort of stuck with me. And it's one of those things where, like, you always have those memories in training that will... It feels like ages ago that I went through training. But this thrashing always fucking stuck with me purely because of, like, the build-up to it. The build-up to it was mental. So I'll set the scene and I'll paint the picture. So we basically... I think we were in, like, week 20... We were just about to go into week 28, okay? So we're going on the exercise called direct action, which is, like, one of the only exercises you do in your commando phase that isn't final X. And like the weekend before, on the Saturday, we'd done the 12-mile load carry, which is basically a test march you have to do as just one of the phys tests you have to do when you're in training, like one of the last marches. So we did a 12-mile load carry. Okay, I can't remember what weight it was. Pretty heavy. Okay, and then basically we'd all gone out. We weren't boozing at the time. So we'd all gone out into town afterwards, and we'd just gone and done a bit of shopping, getting some last little bits for final X. And on the Monday morning, we all get called to the landing. And our troop boss was basically like, started going on about basically insinuating that something's coming, aka a thrashing. We were thinking, we haven't done anything wrong. Like, what is going on here? I didn't really understand it. And then we deployed into the field. We thought they were just playing mind games or whatever. And sort of like the Monday night, nothing. Okay, there was a little bit of obviously panic in the harbour. Like a tiny thrash in there that wasn't really anything because we were late to a detail or something. And then the next morning on the Tuesday, we got called into one of these sort of hardcover buildings where we were staying on this battle camp to get a set of orders for going onto the ground. Well, that's what we thought anyway. We come into this hardcover building, we're all sat down, notebooks out, whatever, and the troop boss pulls up this PowerPoint presentation on like OPSEC, and we're thinking, what's operational security got to do with this? And he pulls up these Strava timings, and I'm thinking, what has Strava got to do with this? So it turns out that some of the lads on the 12-mile speed march had worn their Garmins, which is a big no-no, tracked the Yomp, and basically just titled it with the most stupid thing going. It was like 12-mile low car, like 12-mile bimble with cannon or something like that. I can't remember because it was so long ago. And he basically had pulled all of this data off like the lads' Stravas, basically being like, and it obviously started. It all came crashing down, being like, "You're all shithouses, blah blah blah. This is gonna get horrible for you." Genuinely, the next 2.5 hours of my life was up there with one of the most gopping things I've ever done. We were in threes, okay, and we all had our Bergens packed. And basically, the premise was we had to cover like a good. I can't remember what the exact distance was. I think it was like 4 or 5 miles or so. And basically, one person was wearing a Bergen and fireman carrying someone, and then the other person was wearing 2 Bergens, and we had to run the entire distance, okay, and you were constantly changing out. So if you weren't obviously fireman carrying the person with the Bergen, or the fireman carrying the person while carrying the Bergen, you were carrying 2 Bergens going along, and then obviously we weren't doing it quick enough, so we were just getting constantly shouted at. This went on and off for about 2.5 hours, and then after all that Bergen stuff finished, we were doing loads more crawls, clean fatigue, with fireman carries, the works, and yeah, around 2.5, 3 hours, and like, you weren't expecting a thrashing like that so far on in training. Usually the thrashings come in mega early on during training, but it will always stick with me. But then obviously afterwards, like, all the lads were mega frazzled, and then we obviously had to go and still go into the field doing all this stuff, doing loads of like fucking section attacks, clearances and whatever. But then obviously we got back and we all laughed about it in the end. But yeah, at the time, that was up there with one of the worst 2.5, 3 hours of my life. Like, if you try and carry 2 Bergens at a time, or you're carrying someone on your back while you're carrying a Bergen, it was ridiculous.
That sounds absolutely shocking, I'll be honest.
I mean, I couldn't do it now. I really couldn't do it now.
There's a good question here, actually, because we were speaking about this earlier on our little walk to the cold water plunge. It says, would you rejoin the RM if the UK got pulled into war?
So quite a few people have actually been asking me this question. Obviously, with like what's going on in the world at the moment, obviously the whole situation with America and Iran, obviously there's a lot of tensions that are heightened. So if you don't know this about the military already, when you basically sign up, okay, you obviously are contracted for a certain amount of years. Now, you can leave before this time, obviously, which I have done. However, there is the chance that you can get recalled if something mental like World War III or something kicks off. So when I got home the other day, I had all this paperwork and that come through, had a little veterans badge and whatever come through, and also some letter from like someone from higher Navy command. Obviously it's like a carbon copy letter, but they just send it out to everyone that leaves. So I am technically able to get recalled until 2031, okay? And I think if the opportunity presented, well, not the opportunity, if I did get recalled, I would be mega like keen for it. Obviously, I've done the training, okay, for Royal Marines training. You're literally training to do a job like that, and I think that I get a lot of questions being like from people saying I want to join the Marines, but I'm scared of the like I could get shot, I could do this or whatever. And it's like, you're literally, the whole reason you're joining that job is obviously you're taking on the risks that are involved with that, but you're also getting all the highs from the job as well, like having a green beret, doing the job of being a Royal Marines commando. And it's one of the things where, like, I say it all the time, where I think the reason why a lot of lads leave is because there's not really anything going on in terms of actual operational tours. Like, there's not been anything really properly since sort of Afghan and Iraq and all that. So it's that like lads obviously get frustrated because they're not able to do the job that they signed up to do. And I think it's a case with me now. Obviously, my business is all fully established. All right, social media, online coaching is all set up. But if that opportunity presented itself, where they said to me that I need to go back, 100% would do it in like a what's the phrase I'm looking at?
Do it in a jiffy.
No, not doing it in a jiffy. Like in a heartbeat. 100% like in a heartbeat, I'd go back and do it because that's me doing my job and what I originally.
I think also, yeah, you wouldn't do it for like 8 years that you've done it and then not go back. Is sort of going against the reason why you started in the first place. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be doing myself. Like I'd be letting myself down if I was like. Oh,
you would also know, like in your heart, like you would know that you should be there because you have done the training and you do know you could help in that aspect.
Exactly, and it's one of those where obviously war is mega complicated. It's all very, very political, and you can't get involved in certain things because of certain peace treaties, NATO, whatever. But if like the opportunity did present itself, I think 100% I would because it's what I've trained. Now, obviously, if I was to go back in now, I'd have to obviously redo things like my fitness test. I'd have to redo my ACMTs, like your annual combat marksmanship test, which is your shooting test, pretty much. Get your lip for some of this.
This is good.
Yeah. Get a pretzel.
Get a pretzel.
A pretzel, a little Reese's peanut butter cup, and a bit of popcorn.
Should we do a little live review?
Put it in your mouth in the water. Actually different as well, isn't it? And like look at the back of that. I don't know if the camera's going to see it. Look at like all like whatever Siberian language on the back of there. Like Co-op Tavistock are just stocking some serious stuff.
Mate, that's such a sensation in your mouth. Like it's sweet, that it's savoury, and it's salty.
Yeah, I mean Reese's is like the best chocolate.
It is fire, to be fair.
Like, it really is, and also I can basically half the calories if Sam has like one mouthful. Then he's technically out half the bag.
Yeah, right, guys. You know what the worst thing about it is, yeah? I started Marbella in a cup, and then straight away, without even been in the country for an hour, Tom looks at me and goes, "Should we get a Mackey's then?" And bro just literally pulls out the fattest Mackey's, McFlurries, chicken bites.
No, that was on the second night. On the first
night, they did it twice, didn't we, as well?
We got Burger King. Yeah, no, but to be fair, the Burger King we hadn't eaten all day. Like we'd had a little.
No, but then we make up for it though.
We had a little snack in it. We had a little tortilla in the airport, didn't we? And then by the time we got there, it was like midnight. We needed something, and then obviously like. When was it? The Friday.
It was the day after, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and then like we hadn't really eaten. We went to that posh like that posh Brazilian place, and
that was like you thought it was chips, and it was just fucking. It was root. It was Brazilian roots.
Brazilian root potatoes. And then we got a serious McDonald's mukbang.
It was fire, but like he looks at me and goes, "Do you want a Lotus Biscoff McFlurry as well?" And I'm like, "Bro, we've already got fucking like McBites and all that." And
goes, that McFlurry was actually gold as well.
It was fire.
He's giving it big ones now, but then when we were back at the gas, he was looking at it being like, "Oh, man, actually looks really good, mate."
No, it did like it looked fire though. But I looked at myself in the mirror, the next day, mate. I put on 1.5 kilos in Marbella.
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite lean all year round, so like,
yeah, I'm just a water buffalo, mate.
Yeah, my body's just used to just me having like a day of just cheating on my diet, and then I go.
To be fair, we did have breakfast, and breakfast was not even like it was a snack, wasn't it?
Yeah, literally, drop in the ocean, serious drop in the ocean.
I've got a question for you then. This is, I don't know, to take it or leave it, but I think like, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. I mean,
it's a bit of a vague question.
Yeah, it is mental because like, if people ask me like last year, where do you see yourself next year, it would be nothing like this because. Where we are now, because social media is such a powerful like tool, and it's one of those where I literally just started posting content, and everyone always asks me questions being like, "Oh, how can I get into posting content? How can I do this? Like, how do I start a coaching business?" Just start. I say this to everyone. It's like, "Oh, how do I get better at like making content?" You have to make the content in the first place. Do you know what I mean? And it's like last year, May the 19th. Okay, I remember the day so bloody well. I literally made my first video, and it was shit. It was me like trying to do like different cuts, being like, this time next year I would have left the military, and that's crazy, blah blah blah. Got a pretty good reception, but then like my first sort of 20-30 videos were getting 1,000 views, 1,500 views max on Instagram. And then obviously as I started getting better at content, I found my niche, I found what was working for me. I then got a lot more confident with it, and also I was just consistent in posting. Which
you haven't missed a day, have you?
Literally, yeah.
I think for a whole year you haven't missed a day.
Literally earlier, like we've got no signal down here, and earlier I was like, "Yeah, Sam, I need to go because I need to like reply to clients or whatever. I need to post a video." We drove up to a signal spot, posted a video, replied to client messages, and we come back down.
Yeah, if no one says this guy's dedicated, I'll be honest, we had to do a 15-minute drive away from campsite just so we could reply to clients.
Exactly.
And I'm just sitting there for completely forgot my laptop, just like, someday.
But I think in 5 years, like, I'm looking for a bit of longevity. I know that social media doesn't last forever. I know that my looks won't last forever. And also, there'll be a new thing in 5 years' time. Like, think that realistically, like before TikTok, okay, you had literally like Instagram and that was fucking it, really. Instagram and YouTube, but like there wasn't anything like Shorts. TikTok literally revolutionised the social media content industry, and there's people that started making TikToks in lockdown that now do it as a full-time job, and like they have millions of followers. And now, because everyone knows that you can make money off TikTok, whether that be through like TikTok Shop Affiliate or just being on the Creator Fund or whatever, social media is such a powerful tool. And I think that yes, to a degree you have to sort of like be what's the word? Be sensible with where you sort of see yourself. Like not be like, oh, I'm going to be a multi-millionaire or whatever.
I think it's hard to plan your job in a sense, like because I mean we spoke about it, like we never really plan any videos. We have a rough idea what we're going to do, but even like just with what you're doing in your career, like it's so hard to plan where you'll be in a year because you could have 10 million followers, or you could have 1 million, or you could have 100,000. It's hard to trajectorize.
So I think like longevity wise, I want to branch out on my streams of income. Obviously, main one at the moment is my online coaching. I would like to basically at the moment my coaching is just me, and I've got, like I said, over 70 clients that I work with, and there's a lot more people that want to get involved in the coaching, which is amazing. And I want to scale Teg's coaching up to around 150 clients. However, I can't do that on my own, so I'm looking at bringing in a couple of assistant coaches. One of them is someone I used to compete with in natural bodybuilding, and the other one is another ex-Royal Marine. So if I expand my team to 3 people, we can bring more people on where I've still got my foot in the water with the coaching, but then I'm allocating them over to someone that I trust and I know is a very, very good coach. So we can make Teg's coaching more of a business, okay? And then so Teg's coaching will be its separate entity, the online coaching bit. And then I think in 5 years' time, I don't think I'll be living in the UK at all.
I think you mentioned this, like you mentioned, like we were even just talking about it on the walk, weren't we? I just feel like the UK is. Well, it's washed, isn't it now?
Yeah, it's just like it's nice being back. It is nice being back, and living in Bristol now is mega. But it's one of those where I feel like even if I'm living somewhere else, like out in Marbella, out in Thailand, whatever, but I still have my foot in the water in the UK. But I don't see myself living in the UK in 5 years, even if it's where I'm in another country for 6 months and in the UK for 6 months. But I think it'd be awesome to have a Teg's coaching gym, open up a sort of big gym unit somewhere where like we'll host like massive lift events, like lads can come and train at the gym, and then build a massive community, because I don't really feel like there's many gyms that have that community.
Well, it's all been taken over now by that Pure Gym and The Gym, isn't it? Like they brought up all the spaces
and
now.
That is a thing where like obviously these commercial gyms are really, really good, and like they're very convenient for wherever you are, 24 hours or whatever. But what if we could take that convenience of a commercial gym and put it into the private gym space, where we use like social media to help get the word out. We host like monthly lifting events, like loads of good kit, loads of areas to do whatever you want. So I think a gym is definitely on the cards. And then looking like as a smart investment for the long run, I think property, purely because like having your toe in the water with some property, even if it's just one property where I wouldn't be personally living in it, I'd probably be renting somewhere out the country, living there probably.
I do think that is the smart decision, like
in Marbella or something, and then just having someone living in the property, and like it makes sense, because if you have someone living in your property and they're paying you rent, you are then paying off your mortgage. So I think that's definitely what I'd like to get on the property ladder within the next 2 to 3 years. But yeah, I definitely think that Teg's coaching, the online clients doubled, okay, around 150 with a couple of assistant coaches on there to really, really get the reach out there and just keep pumping out transformations and success stories. And then, yeah, potentially a gym, definitely some property, not in the country. Oh, and a nice car as well. I like to have a nice car.
Whipping excursion.
Yeah, like my car's nice, but like a dream car, like one where the doors open upwards instead of outwards. I think that'd be sick.
Right. So, well, I've got a question for you, because for me at the moment it's quite apparent. Obviously, I'm doing my own thing, and obviously we work together, so that's a bit different now. But how do you find it running your own business? I seem to find it quite a lonely game. Do you seem to find it a lonely game, and how do you deal with it if it is?
I think in the industry I'm in, I'm very blessed that I get to talk to a lot of people. Like, you got to think that with like online coaching, the whole process of when clients fill out an application form and you chat to them on the phone and you're having a lot of social interaction. I'm a very social person, so like, and obviously when I'm checking in with my clients, I'm talking to them all the time. And obviously with content creation and that and social media, you get to meet loads of cool people, and you're constantly like messaging people with them asking you questions or whatever. So I think definitely from a social media point of view, in that sort of game, it isn't as lonely as other like self-employed ventures. Obviously, when you're your own boss, it is awesome because you make your own hours and you do what you want. However, like in industries like yourself, like videography or whatever, like a lot of it is time on your own, working on the business, working, doing content, and that is the same for me as well. Like a lot of it is me building plans, me planning out content for the next few days.
Well, yeah, because like you don't, like both of us really, like apart from, you know, I meet up with you once or twice a week and then stuff like that, that's mainly my social interaction, because then, you know, when, let's say we do a day of filming and we get 2 videos out of it, that will take me roughly 3 and a bit days to edit, so that's 3.5 days, and then I'll spend 2 days on clips, and then before you know it, I'm seeing you again. So like, your head is just on this laptop 24/7 really, and like I'm always editing, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy it and I love it, and I'm like 6 months ago, if you told me I'll be doing something like this, I'd laugh at you. But it's like, when you take a look out, I'm like, fuck, I haven't spoke to anyone else in like a month.
You definitely have to be a specific type of person. I think you have to be one of those blokes that, one, is happy being in their own.
Well, you
company.
said you said you enjoy being like by yourself.
You got to be happy in your own company, and you've got to basically understand that like anything worth having doesn't come easy. Like obviously people see now, like I'm in a position with a business where like I can go out to fucking like Marbella, I can go travel Thailand for a bit and like still create content and do all that good stuff in the background. However, for the first 9-10 months when I was still in the Marines, I was literally working 8 a.m. till 4 p.m. But like I'd have to leave my house at 7 to drive to work, which is 40 minutes. So I'd wake up at 6:30, reply to a couple of messages, and then get straight in the car, drive to work 8 till 4 while trying to balance my coaching business, and then go straight to the gym for like till like 6, 6:30, and then drive home, get back at like 7, and then eat, and then literally from like 8 p.m. till midnight, I'll be working on the business, and that would be it every single day. And then on the weekends, I wouldn't really be doing too much because I'd be working on the business, so I wouldn't be like going out and like seeing people. So for like 9 months, I was mega like not self-isolated, but I had my priorities in order. I knew what I wanted to achieve and what I wanted to focus on, and that was the business. And that like 9 months of graft has seriously set me up for the long run. Don't get me wrong, now like I'll still have days where I'll literally start working at 8 a.m. and I won't finish till midnight. Couple of breaks.
Well, we're still messaging sometimes at 2 in the morning, cooking ideas. Do you know what I mean?
And it's like there are days where like some days are longer than others. Some days it will be an 8 a.m. till midnight. Other days it will only be like 2-3 hours. It is all dependent on what the workflow is. Like I'd rather work more hours, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Friday, Saturday, I can have less hours and do something with the boys or whatever. And then Sunday I'm back to it. But it's all about finding what works for you. Some people like just doing a set amount of hours every single day. But yeah, I definitely think it can be a lonely game, all this social media stuff, especially with a lot of people nowadays. I feel like everyone's just trying to get a leg up over someone. Everyone's trying to be like anti-everyone because they're like, if I help this person out, then that's going to pull away from me doing my thing. And it's not. Like, you have to be willing to put yourself out there, collaborate with other people. Like, the whole reason me and Sam met is because he just sent me a message out of the blue in Bali.
Yeah, it was completely random, wasn't it? Like, I just sent you a message and, like, obviously I was running my own business, doing my own videographer stuff and things like that, but I've never really delved into the YouTube game, but I've always wanted to do it. So I was just like, I've been watching Tom for a while, and I was sort of like, you know what? I'll just send him a message. I wasn't expecting a reply, and then he just comes back, and it sort of married up quite well, because you were just coming back from Bali and wanted to get back on the long-form game.
And I think it was one of them where it's like, you've got to be willing to give people like the opportunity, and it was one of those where like I get people all the time, like these appointment setters online being like, Tegs, I can fucking scale your business 10x in this amount of time, and I'm like, yeah, cheers mate, this is just a copy and paste message. But then on Sam, I looked at Sam's message and I was like, yeah, why not? Well, like, the worst thing that can happen is it will film a video, I don't like it, but I've given it that opportunity.
And I think that's what I said to you, innit? I was like, I went out on a limb and I was sort of like, well, the first 2 videos, well, that's sorted. Like, I won't charge anything for that. And then, well, it was in the first week, because I was like, the first video is just the interview, wasn't it? Like, we just got there and straight away just started.
Yeah, that was it. But yeah, I definitely think you got to be a certain type of person, 100%.
Yeah.
But I think if that style suits you. And this style of life isn't for everyone. A lot of people just like working a 9 to 5, and like they know that all they got to do is rock up on Monday, 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock, finish on Friday, maybe a little early finish or whatever, and then your weekends are your own, and that's fine because then you don't have to think about anything. Like when work is finished, that is you done. However, I can't live like that. I like being able to constantly chase stuff, and working for more, because I know that the more hours I put in, the more I get out.
Well, like there was literally this night where I just get this message from Tom. And it's like 12 o'clock and I see it and I reply. And then like we're cooking ideas, what was it, for like 2 hours? And like we're just sending messages back and forth because we've got all these ideas that we want to do and stuff like that. And it was like, and we've done a full day of work as well. And it's like, in somewhat aspects, would you agree with me that it's addictive sometimes working?
I think it definitely is. And I think that when you get sort of comfortable with the lifestyle that you're in, like, don't get me wrong, I live a nice lifestyle at the moment. Like, I can go away when I want, and also I don't have to think about, like, I'm in a blessed position where I don't have to really think about money, like, which is really, really, really nice. And like, so say for example, like, I won't be. I mean, I still shop at Aldi because like I'm not an animal.
Stay humble, you know.
Yeah, stay humble. But like, it's one of those where like I'll do a weekly food shop and I won't be checking how much the weekly food shop costs. Do you know what I mean? Which is such an amazing position to be in. But also, it's like I want to keep living that lifestyle where I can just like that say, right, I want to go do some work in Marbella. I need to go do this in this country here. Let me just book a flight. But then to be able to still do that, you still have to put in the work behind closed doors.
I think we get itchy feet as well, isn't it? Like, we can't, whenever me and Tom are together, we can't seem to sit still for at least 5 minutes. Like, it's always, even now, we're sitting down and we're doing something, like,
yeah,
do you know 100%. What I mean?
I think it is one of those where, like, it's good to be in that mindset, but it's definitely a struggle to switch off. But
yeah.
I think that if you want to get where you need to be in that mindset of never switching off, because that's how you, like, achieve what you want to do. It's just constantly, like, just relentlessly working every single day. Like Sam said, I literally post a video every single day, something new, something different that's either going to educate or entertain. And then on top of that, running the whole business, and then on top of that, doing background admin. Like, you need to have your mind constantly spinning, because that is what's going to keep you on top of the game and make sure you don't fall behind, and then go back to a life that you were living before that you didn't want.
How to add more protein to your diet without breaking the bank?
See, I think first of all we need to address where you're shopping at. All right, if you're going to, like, even like things like Tesco, okay, Asda, like, I think also a lot of people try and overcomplicate their diet with having all these different protein sources and, like, yes, I need salmon here and then like chicken here and then I need a steak every single day. That's not the case at all. Your cheapest protein sources, right? You've got eggs, chicken, tuna, right? Tuna in a can, you get like 4 for £4. It's 25 grams of protein. And also protein powder, Combat Fuel, code hairline, 15% off, which makes it even cheaper. 30 servings for like 20 quid. So that's a steal. But pick like 3 to 4 protein sources and stick with that, and also buy it in bulk. Because if you're picking these 3 to 4 protein sources, you know that maybe throughout the week, if you're having 400 grams, 500 grams of chicken a day, you know you can get a 5k thing of chicken for the week. You cook up 3.5 kilos of it, and then the other 1.5 kilos you put in the freezer, defrost that, and just have that on rotation. And like, you can get, I think, 5 kilos of chicken from Booker's for like 20 quid, 20, 30 quid. Yeah, and even if you want to get like a big, like 2.5 kilo pack from Aldi, I think I paid £12.29, and that's a steal. Eggs, like 15 eggs is like 2 quid, 6 grams of protein in there. 100 grams of chicken is 30 grams of protein. A can of tuna, get 4 cans of tuna for like 4 quid, 25 grams of protein a pop. Protein powder, 25 grams a scoop. Sorted. But yeah, my advice would be just pick 3 to 4 protein sources, stick with them. If you go for like obviously red meat, that's going to be more expensive. Lower fat content meat is going to be more expensive as well. So like, for example, if you're really struggling to make ends meet, go for chicken thigh instead of chicken breast, because it's a fattier cut of meat. Yes, there'll be more fat on it, just have some less fat in other areas, okay? Like, don't have a whole jar of peanut butter. And then obviously, yeah, like beef mince as well. Instead of 5% beef mince, which is more expensive, have 10% or 20%. And then obviously eggs, just get them caged. No one cares that they're not free range, lad. That's literally, that's it.
And a popular question from the viewers. How much Monster do you actually consume a day?
I think this is a good question to finish on, actually. So it depends on the day, okay? if it's been a rough one, all right, and I've been up for however fucking long, you could be looking at four a day. But like,
don't lie to the viewers, mate.
Nah. Four is literally like, so usually like, it was bad when I was like running two businesses. When I was running the Marines one, when I was in the Marines, and I was doing my coaching alongside, because I wake up early doors, I crack a monster on the way to work, and I'd probably have one at lunchtime, and then I'd probably have one like on the way to the gym. So that's like 4 p.m. And then I'd probably have a bit of pre-workout with that as well. And then like if it was like a Thursday or Friday night and I knew I didn't have to be in work the next morning and I could stay up like past midnight, 1 o'clock, I'd crack a fourth money at like 11 p.m. I'd just lock into like 2, 3 a.m. And like the lads worked it out how much I spent on Monster, because I never used to buy them in bulk. I just used to buy them from like the service station, like on the way to the gym and that, because I couldn't be arsed like bulk buying. And I was doing like £2. I was doing like £8 a day. Yeah, and if I'm doing 3 a day, let's say on average I was doing 3 a day, which usually I was, and that's literally like £6 a day, 7 days, so £42 a week. So literally a month, I'm literally looking at doing 170 quid on Monsters in a month. Obviously now I've got a booker thing. I'm probably doing two a day, maybe 3, depending on what the situation is. But
well,
yeah,
we've had 2 today so far, and we will definitely crack another one.
Yeah, we'll probably crack another one later as well. To be fair, we get some Wi-Fi and make a bit of Wi-Fi.
Bring that Wi-Fi money.
Yeah. But yeah, 2 to 3 a day, and no, it's not going to kill you. All right. I guess that's actually, yeah. We'll end on that question. Okay, should we do?
Yeah.
Anything from you to outro?
Pleasure talking to all your viewers. Appreciate you listening. If you got this far.
Yeah, thank you for all the fucking support as well on the YouTube video.
We really do appreciate the comments and the likes and everything like that. I see them as well, and it's really nice to see that everyone is loving the new video.
This is the man behind all the shorts. So yeah, the main reason why we're growing, which is awesome.
So please be nice to me.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Videos coming out every single week, once a week minimum.
Isn't it every Sunday at 8 o'clock is the video coming out?
Yeah. Let's say that. Let's say every Sunday 8 p.m. there's going to be a new video, guaranteed. There might be a little midweek special sometimes if we can fit it in, because the goal is YouTube landscape mode. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Much love as always. Get up.